Montana's Outdoor Legacy Foundation is raising money to remodel and expand the Wildlife Rehabilitation Center at Montana Wild. The remodel would give visitors at Montana Wild more access to the ambassador birds. MTN's John Riley has more on the important educational role of these birds of prey.
Every day at Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks Montana Wild, people can see owls, hawks, and eagles roaming the education center with their handlers. These ambassador birds participate in regular education programs, and staff say when it comes to education, nothing compares to the real thing.
We have an enormous impact on enormous beneficial effect on the public's knowledge of our wildlife, their appreciation, and therefore their support.
The birds come to Montana Wild from the nearby Wildlife Rehabilitation Center. Originally constructed for the rehabilitation of bears, the center now sees around 100 birds each year who were injured in the wild. The goal is always to prepare the animal to be released back into the wild, but that's unfortunately not always possible.
In some cases, after doing extensive work with them, we realize that they're just not going to be a good candidate for release. And in those cases, we will look at their disposition, their personality, and see if they would be a potential either ambassador bird for us here at Montana Wild or for another facility.
The center works on a very tight budget and depends on the more than 40 volunteers that care for the birds of prey, including feeding and cleaning cages. Those ambassador birds and their handlers end up meeting with thousands of children each year. Although the birds will never return to the wild, staff say these animals will have a much greater impact on the species as a whole, by helping educate the next generation on how to be good stewards and what makes Montana's outdoors so great.
You know, here at Fish, Wildlife and Parks, we're pretty fortunate. Many of us get outdoors, we recreate, but in some instances, especially with a lot of our youth, they're not getting that opportunity, and this gives them a chance to experience that animal and hopefully get excited about that species and conserving that species.
Reporting in Helena, John Riley, MTN News.